Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual industry insights. My name is Kent Ballard, and I will be your host throughout this week. I'm the workforce education specialist here at the Chamber Foundation, located within the Chamber of Commerce in Huntsville, Madison County. Today, we have some awesome guests, and we're going to be focusing in on the automotive industry. And you have the opportunity to hear from some voices that will really compel you to think more broadly about how the automotive industry works. So without further ado, I'm going to pause, and I want to have everyone introduce themselves, who you are and what you do and how long you've been with your organization.
Hi, Kent. So I'm April Mason, and I am General Manager of Administration at Toyota Motor Manufacturing, Alabama. So I will not walk by an unsafe act or condition without taking action. And I've been with Toyota for 26 years.
Hi, I'm Christy Hain. I'm the Assistant Director of North Alabama for AIDT, and I've been with AIDT for 2.5 years.
So my name is Jeanette Hostetler. I'm the Vice President of Production for Mazda Toyota Manufacturing, the new joint venture here in Huntsville. My personal safety commitment is to promote all COVID protocols. And I've actually been with Mazda Toyota for about 2 years, but I've been with Toyota since 2000. So thanks for having me.
Hello, my name is Vanetta Thompson. I'm the HR manager for Carter Express, and we are new in town, partnering up with Mazda Toyota, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
My name's Austin Wilhite. I'm a maintenance technician for Toyota here in Huntsville. Been here for pushing 5 years now as permanent. I've been here since 2014.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Devers with Carter Express, Director of Logistics Centers. So I'm over all of our Toyota contracts. So that would be the MTM project down here, our Knoxville facility, and our Dayton facility.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm very thankful to have all of you on, and I'm looking forward to a very dynamic conversation.
I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
So for Mazda Toyota Manufacturing, so, collaboratively, we've been working with Toyota on mainly our training, and also a lot of our systems are very similar to Toyota's. And, as Toyota is one of our parent companies, they really have a strong influence on our Toyota production line. So our training aspect, as I mentioned, our systems that are in our production shops, as well as our administration and safety systems, are very similar to Toyota. So I really appreciate that. And then our differences is my other half. So that's the Mazda side. So we are a joint venture with Toyota and Mazda. So, Mazda brings some different innovations to the Toyota standards that I'm very, I have experience with and I'm very used to. So they've really been challenging us. They've really been challenging some of the status quo that Toyota has brought to us. And then also, we are a contract manufacturer. So where Toyota sells their vehicles, we sell our services to our parent companies. So that's the major differences between the two.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I really appreciate that. April, what specifically does Toyota Manufacturing focus on here in Huntsville?
So here in Huntsville, we are an engine plant. So we manufacture engines, obviously, and we are the only Toyota facility to manufacture 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, and 8-cylinder engines under one roof.
All right, so both organizations are expanding. Explain how your expansions are happening, and we can start with Jeanette. How about that?
Sure. So gosh, we're growing every day. So we are a 3.7 million square feet manufacturing facility. So we will be manufacturing both 2 brand new products, one for Toyota and one for Mazda. So we're sitting on, here in Huntsville and Madison, in that area, where our plant, we start with a stamping shop that's starting to grow. And that leads to our body weld shop, and that has both lines as well. And then that'll lead to the paint shop, where we'll be painting very beautiful colors on these vehicles. And then last, it'll go into our assembly shop and quality control. So through all that, as I mentioned, we're going to be manufacturing those very beautiful vehicles and, expanding the location, expanding the roads. I apologize for all the maybe road delays and maybe construction areas that we're causing, but once it's over, it's going to be a beautiful plant to be a part of.
Well, April, what's happening at Toyota?
Yeah, so we have expanded 5 times since we started in 2001, and our current expansion includes adding 2 new production lines, which will take our capacity up to 900,000 engines annually, and that'll be by the end of 2021. So we're adding a new 4-cylinder and a V6 line, which will create 450 additional new jobs. Which is will create the largest hiring need in our plant's history, and will be up to 1,800 team members by the time we're done. So, this should help increase our production capacity and help us to better adapt to market demand.
Let's talk about some of those high demand, high wage positions, or especially those high demand. You're going to have to find, the people to be able to fill those. So, April, tell me a little bit more about those positions that you're trying to fill and what are they?
So we are trying to fill both production as well as skilled maintenance positions. And yeah, they will be working on precision engines with a lot of technology. It's constantly changing. I see Austin smiling over there. Lots of cobots in place. The technology just keeps changing very rapidly. But yeah, we are looking for folks who have great problem solving skills and who like teamwork and to collaborate with others, because the very collaborative teamwork type of environment here. But yes, maintenance and production, we're definitely hiring.
We have the same with the addition of administration. So 3 main categories: administration, production, and skilled maintenance as well. And from the skilled maintenance portion, as April said, we're looking for those folks that love to, get their hands into the equipment, do some preventive maintenance, also do some quick troubleshooting. And, with AIDT, we're doing a lot of our training for our skilled maintenance there. So it's a lot of great activity from the production side, members who just have a flavor of production line excitement and doing some great online work, Kaizen, or continuous improvement, as we call it, and just really being able to engage with our equipment, engage with our team members, and really be a part of eventually be 4,000 members here on site. And we also have some on-site partners too, or we call it suppliers or on-site partners. On my shirt, we have what's called Team One. So Team One actually stands for on-site, near-site, and everyone. So being a big part of that collaboration within Mazda Toyota.
Christy, help us to understand all of what you do and tell us what this monster of AIDT is.
We are a nice monster. AIDT, as I said, I'm the Assistant Director of North Alabama. We cover the entire state. We are a division underneath the Department of Commerce. So whenever a company, especially a manufacturer IT company, is recruited to the state of Alabama, they receive an incentive package also from AIDT. And AIDT is their partner there to help with their marketing, their hiring, their selection process, and their onboarding of their new employees at no cost to the company. And with all of that, we do everything customized. So we customize to what that company is looking for. So a lot of times people are looking for the employment of those 4,000 jobs or the 400 jobs that have been mentioned, but they can go to aidt.edu. And that's a great resource for us to show all of our companies that we're partnered with across the state, and for them to have a one-stop click and place to apply for those companies. And one thing we are very proud of is with AIDT, our training programs and our pre-selection, pre-hire programs carry an ISO 9000 credential. And we go through that every year, which is very unique and helps us maintain our level of what we do, and also making sure that we are out there above where we need to be, and making sure that as we're recruiting businesses to Alabama, we can help find that workforce. And we work very closely with the cities and the municipalities that these companies are coming into to make sure that they have what they need in all areas. If we can connect them where they're needing something, we try to be that connection force. And we really try to be a partner and a friend. I love the team one that I just saw on Jeanette's shirt. We like to be part of the team. We work very close with the engine plant. We work very close with MTM to make sure we don't try to push on them what we think. We try to find out what do they need, and then we try to adapt to that. And one thing I find very important about AIDT is we only incentivize and help with full-time employment jobs, or jobs that are leading to a full-time employment. And they have to be making a livable wage. And that livable wage is something that we can also stand on very strongly and recruit, and we can, justify as we're going out. And with my career tech background, and it was always important for me to be able to tell my students, if you take certain things in school, they'll lead to certain things you can do at the community college, and then they'll lead to certain things that you can find in your job force. So today we need so many technical students and technical individuals, and technical means so many different things in so many different arenas. That we need those people that have that adaptability, that they want to learn, they want to get in there, they want to see, and then we can train them in where they need to be. If they can ethically pass and get through, and they're a good employee, and they're going to show up and they're going to do what they need to do, we'll help make sure the companies have the materials and the resources to train those to become the best employees they can, so that our companies don't have to deal with attrition.
You had made mention to two things. One of them was aidt.edu, which would typically signify that there's some education that's happening, or there's some sort of, the AIDT is an educational source as well. Am I incorrect in my thinking?
We keep the .edu instead of going under .gov, because we want people to know that we are there to help them with whatever training that they need. We are a
Nice.
training source. We are a pre-employment source. So we want them to have the understanding that we are taking them with different levels, different skill sets. And AIDT started in 1971. And in 1971, we were underneath the community college umbrella. And we moved out from under that umbrella after the 2000 year. And we decided to keep the EDU just to keep that connection there, because we do pride ourselves in working with the high schools and the secondary level and the community college and your post-college experience.
How do you work with the high schools? That's a very interesting idea.
So with us, with the high schools, we have a couple of programs that I can speak to here in North Alabama that would probably be the most relatable. We have some programs where we had high schools that could not afford to put in welding programs, but they showed a need that they needed those programs, and the students had an interest, in our industry had an interest in needing those work skills. So we were able to partner with those high school systems, secondary systems, with their career tech directors, and supply the equipment and supply the instructor to be able to get those skill sets into those students' hands. So we will help not only with our companies, but when our companies need those individuals, we'll go to whatever link to make sure that we can train those individuals. And training for some of these jobs can start in the high school level in 9th, 10th grade. And we really want to see it get even earlier. So we have an MTU, mobile training unit, that prior COVID would go anywhere and provide hand-on experience in forklift, in collaborative robots, in virtual welding. And we have now made this MTU COVID, I won't say COVID proof, but it, because I don't think we really know what that is, but we have put up barriers, and it has proven to be a safe environment, and it has received that from the health department, and it now can go to the high schools and to different functions. So it's not as hands-on, but they can actually see the equipment operate, because sometimes it's just letting somebody know what it is, because they don't know what they don't know. And it's just showing them and exposing them to it. And we'll help any way we can with any secondary program. That is my background. I was a career tech teacher for 15 years at a high school here in Alabama. So career tech is very special to me. Then from that background, I went into the community college system. So I believe it's a pathway to amazing jobs with amazing companies, and especially when we can get the females engaged. Because females sometimes overlook some of the areas that they can actually be in. And I just, any way we can help, we're there.
How would you encourage the CTE educators, the career prep educators, the CTE directors? How would you encourage them to stay on the cutting edge, even in COVID?
Even in COVID, a lot of our vendors and our robotic companies are providing training, and they're doing it virtual. And so instructors can do that at their own time. And I believe it's very important for these CTE directors and for their educators, that the people in the classroom, they need to spend some time with these companies. And they're always welcome here at Robotic Technology Park, but to engage. Find out what industry's truly looking for and adapt your programs to what industry's looking for, because then you're truly training the next workforce. And I think everybody just has to be open to change and open to new ways of thinking. And especially all of us now with COVID, we're all changing. This meeting would have generally probably taken place personally and videotaped, but we're all reachable, and we're all working towards the same goal. And we all want to see a workforce that is unbelievable here in the state of Alabama with some amazing companies. And so anything that I can do to help push that, I'm here to do. And AIDT provides me with that resource. And we're here across the state also. So I have counterparts just like myself in Central and South Alabama. And then we work for an amazing man named Ed Castile, who also has an amazing background in career technical education and is a firm believer in training as early as we can.
Well, from what I understand is that you are a supreme resource, for us, and that many companies have really benefited from, your presence. So definitely, thank you so much for all that you do. I don't know if you can really compartmentalize everything that you do, but you trying to do that in such a short period of time, we really do appreciate it. So from us to you, thank you so much for all that you do.
Y'all have a great day.
You too. I want to be able to understand the relationship and how important the relationship, especially between MTM and Carter Express. So, Chris, can you let us know exactly what Carter does?
Yeah, so typically for Toyota's supply chain, we do a lot of tier 1 supplier pickups with our over-the-road drivers and bring that back to cross docks and then send that all out to basically every Toyota plant across the world, including ones in like Japan and Russia and overseas. For this project, though, we'll be doing the internal conveyance for Mazda Toyota. So we'll be unloading all the trucks that's coming back from the tier 1 suppliers and unloading those onto the floor and then putting those on dollies and tuggers to head to the lines to be put on cars. So for us, it's very new being inside in a on-site provider, but it'll be nice that we get this experience of finishing the supply chain out. We do tier 1 or tier 2 to tier 1, tier 1 to OEMs, and now the unloading and piece to the lines. So
Chris made mention of tier 1, tier 2 organizations. Is there something that we should understand about these different layers of organizations and how they actually work?
Yeah, from a Mazda Toyota standpoint, I'll be honest with you, our on-site partners or near-site partners are us. So that's why we call it Team 1. We want them to feel like they're part of the family. We want to have a strong relationship with them, support their training, support their development. We actually have an organization within MTM that is focused solely on our partners. So we want to make sure that we support every aspect of their growth, because like I said, they're a part of us. So although they supply parts to us, they're like an extension of our family. So they're a part of us, and we want them to feel like they're a part of us, and culturally make everybody feel like we're one team.
Vonetta, when we are talking about Carter Express and the things that Carter brings to the table, are you all hiring? And if so, what type of hiring are you all doing?
So currently we are hiring for group leads and team leads, and then we're gonna soon start hiring for our team members to fill the slots that we have available over at the location.
When we're talking about Team One success, and I'm also going to ask this to you in just a few minutes, April, when we think about success overall, what does success overall look like from a mission perspective?
I think success basically means that, again, that once we roll off these beautiful Mazda and Toyota SUVs, that we'll go through some ups and downs as a team, and we want to be there for each other through the great times to celebrate, and through maybe the not so good times. So the not so good times, when we're struggling and we're going through some issues, we want to be able to support each other. And to me, that's success, when we're able to hear not just the good news, but we always say here, bad news first. So tell us what your problems are, so that we can, get the resources you need, get the people, get the brains, get anything to support each other. And then once we are part of that one team, then we'll be able to successfully make those safe, good quality Mazda and Toyotas.
Chris, when we're thinking about what people may need, or what students might need in order to be in line or prepared to take positions with Carter in order to support that Team One even more, what type of skill sets are we talking about? What are we looking for?
Biggest job opportunity that we have here is forklift driving. So forklift drivers. Normally we ask for a 6-month experience in order to get in, but we're in a unique situation here where we have an off-site, what we call a dojo or training center. So even with no experience, we can still bring some people in and train them how to drive a forklift and get them certified and put them to work. Of the jobs that we have at MTM, all except for 5 are forklift jobs.
Okay.
With the exception of team leaders and group leaders. Of course, you gotta have forklift experience, but they won't be on them all the time.
Vonetta, what is the age, or what is the starting age that you're looking for, and how can I get some of my high school students to make sure that they are some of those assistants?
So we're looking for at least 18 years of age, but of course, we would love to come out and speak with high school students who may have an interest in going into the manufacturing industry, and talk to them about how we can make them a part of our team and put together a training program for them to get them ready.
I'm very, very excited about what we'll be able to do collaboratively. I'm excited about what you all will be able to do collaboratively, but from the Chamber Foundation, we just want to be able to support as many organizations as we possibly can, and make sure that educators and students know exactly how to reach you all. So I think that was painted very clearly, and I think that we can see the collaborative nature, not only of North Alabama, but we're also able to see the collaborative nature within organizations.
Thanks so much to the Chamber for inviting us today, and just to tell the students to keep on learning, keep on engaging. We've got so much opportunity at Mazda Toyota, and I know you'll talk about the FAME program here in a little bit, but there's just opportunity for kids to really understand manufacturing through seeing what our shops do and seeing the innovation that Mazda Toyota brings to the Huntsville area. There's so much growth and opportunity for advancement as well, since we're so young, and then to just be ready to have a little fun, and also to learn about how to troubleshoot, and also think creatively through Kaizen and continuous improvement. But thanks so much, Kent, for this opportunity.
Oh, it's no problem. It's really my pleasure. And Tony, if you have any videos or something that we might be able to splash in here, maybe some B-roll that we might be able to talk through, I would absolutely love that. And it doesn't have to be a whole bunch, but you know, whatever you can provide for us, I would absolutely love that. Thank you for being the puppeteer and just making sure that I'm in line and everybody's here. So thank you so much, all four of you. So Austin, tell us about the FAME program. Tell us about how you came to be a part of the Toyota team.
So, it started back in high school, I guess, I never even knew anything about a maintenance person. Like I had the idea, but I never kind of grasped that someone would be that did what I do now. I just thought like production did or something like that. Never even popped up in my head. And so my ag teacher, he actually showed me. He's like, "Hey, you need to check this out. I think you'll like it." I was all the time in the wood shop and stuff like that. Didn't really have an idea. Always welding or doing something. And he's like, "Hey, I think you'd really like doing this." So I jumped on it and I went to the interview or to the, I guess them showing it off and everything, and I was tickled to death. I was like, "Man, this is right up my alley." So, I went to Fayetteville High School, so it's a real small 1A school. I guess it's 2A now, but so I mean, we didn't have really much of a career tech. We didn't really have those options unless you went to a different school, and so this just kind of hit my cup of tea, and I was tickled to death. And I'm pretty sure I blew up my HR's email because I kept on emailing her asking if I got in or not, and luckily I got in.
How long have you been there now? I think you said 5 years, am I right?
Yes, sir. Well, I started the AMT program in 2014. I was the first class of the FAME program, and then we went into, I guess, after I graduated from FAME through Calhoun, I got it was supposed to be a 1-year internship, but they brought us on even sooner, which I'm tickled to death about, and got a full-time job within like a month after the internship. And I was 18 at the time I started the program. By the time I finished, I was 20. And, I think I graduated in May, got a job, started in 2016 in July. And, in October, I bought my first house. It was like there was big moves made real quick. But, there's not many people that that's 20 years old that can buy a house, and that's what I've talked at a couple of, trying to promote this, and it was a really good program. I mean, like I said, you can do anything you want to. And I guess the big thing I have to stress to a lot of, I guess, teachers and stuff is, and students mainly, is, the big thing, the big fear that you'll have is, losing your friends. There's, I promise you, you'll always meet new people. And I mean, I didn't really know anybody whenever I went into the program, but I mean, we still hang out to this day. We are all still really close, even though we don't really work together anymore, but we all still hang out. So you'll always make new friends. It's the big thing I'd have to stress in that.
Man, I love that. Number one, I just love that you're just so tickled to death. I mean, that is probably going to be the word of the week for me. April, what is how important is the FAME program to Toyota manufacturing?
We're tickled to death to have Austin and how proud we are of him. But the FAME program is critical for us because, as we were talking earlier, we have a shortage of skilled maintenance employees who are out there and available. And, I have a 17-year-old son, and he has a lot of friends, and I overhear a lot of 17-year-old boy talk. And there are so many students who say, traditional 4-year college program is not for me, but I want to do something. What is that something? And especially people like Austin that have a passion for working with their hands, making things, using equipment and tools. There is great money to be made. There are good careers here. If we can just engage those folks and have a conversation with them to let them know that these careers exist and you can do what you love and make great money doing it, and do great things like Austin, where you're buying a house at 20 years old. It's here. The opportunities are here.
So I would drive from, 2 days a week I'd go to school and 3 days a week I'd go to work. And, I would drive an hour and 15 minutes from my house to work those 3 days. And then those other two I'd drive, it's about 30 to 40-minute drive to get to Calhoun at the RTP in Calhoun.
Talk to me about what would cause someone to not finish the FAME program.
So a big thing, the program itself will mature you greatly because you're stepping into such an adult atmosphere that you have to grow up. It's a really good way to go ahead and grow up, if that makes sense. I actually got a coach into my first semester because I kind of joked around too much and would always just try to I don't know, just joke around, wasn't being serious enough. And the problem with that is, that's a safety aspect. You could get hurt if you're too busy joking around, when you're on a job trying to work on something and you're busy cutting up and your mentor's here trying to teach you and try to show you something. They're taking time out of their day to show you this stuff, and that's the big thing is you have to appreciate that they're doing this. They're not, really getting much extra for it, but they're trying to, show and help you grow as a person as well as just a worker themselves.
Talk to us about that, April. There has to be some high expectations that are set, for workers, whether they're coming through FAME or not.
Absolutely. So, we are open to folks from a wide range of backgrounds. And you don't have to have, in the production positions, you don't have to have experience. You can come here and we will train you. From the maintenance standpoint, you either have to have 2 years of experience or go through the program, the FAME program, which is, a huge help to us, just as Austin did. But from an expectation standpoint, if you like problem solving, if you're a good critical thinker, if you like teamwork and collaboration, those are all things that we're looking for. In addition to that, having good attendance is important. So, people who can come to work on time every day, because you'll find out that, you quickly become part of a team, as Austin said, and that team depends on you, right? So those are some of the key things that we're looking for and the expectations that we have.
This sounds like a great opportunity for a lot of people. How would you encourage more students to be a part or think about this program? What would you say to them?
Jump on it, man. This is one of the best programs that you can get your hands on and just be part of. If you love working with your hands and working and just really enjoy, something different every day instead of sit behind a desk every day, it's huge, Like I said, I've got my associate's degree now. I'm currently in the process of going back to school right now to get my engineering degree. And so I can move up into like a manager position or really not have anything as a gap or a ceiling, I should say, and where I can go to and, plan for future and into retirement and stuff like that. But the opportunity is here. And so now I'm able to work while going to school still. And it all started with FAME. So that was the big thing is, I guess starting out, I had an idea. I wanted to be an engineer or something like that because I enjoyed what they did. But maintenance was just hit at home. And I was like, man, having to be able to work with my hands and implement all this type of thing and being able, because I've loved puzzles and stuff. So the troubleshooting and the problem solving, it all just really, everything just started with FAME and being able to start there and then move into an engineering position after I get my degree and propel forward. So it's a great opportunity, especially for future growth and, moving on up in the world. So
let me ask you this, one more. I just need one word from you. What do you love most about working there? What do you love most about your job and your opportunity?
I'd have to say it'd be probably something different every day. It's just, and the people and just everything, but probably just something different every day. It could either be a mechanical issue or electrical issue. You never know until you get there and you can troubleshoot and figure out what your problem is and be able to fix it. You feel like you're a superhero because you're able to fix all the the issues and being there for production and kind of being the person that saves the day for them and able to help them get their number and get what they need accomplished.
I love that. April, I like this guy. This guy's a good guy. If you can
Me too.
duplicate
He is
this
a
guy,
superhero.
duplicate him. Hey, but I really do appreciate, what you all bring to the table. April, if there's any way that I can help you duplicate Austin, if I can find, the next Austin, in North Alabama, I would absolutely love that. But, more importantly, I'm really thankful that you all are fostering programs that allow students to dream, even as a young, even from a young age. The other thing that I'm really excited about, and I see more and more at, Toyota manufacturing, is the number of young ladies who are, taking opportunity to really step into some roles that they may have not necessarily thought about in their younger years. So I'm very thankful that you all support, just all, not only walks of life, but just making sure that people have a clear understanding of what the expectations are and then how far they can go within your organization. April, is there anything that you would want to share with educators on how to get people, get people more information or, help them to understand a little bit more about what Toyota manufacturing is doing?
Absolutely, Kent. Thank you so much for asking that. So if you're interested in taking a virtual tour of our plant, you can go to www.tourtoyota.com. And we also have STEM educational materials available for teachers if they're interested in that. We're happy to work with them to set up virtual field trips. We like to do those in person, but with COVID, we're more than happy to set those up virtually. And I just want people to know that manufacturing is a great place to be. It's not the dingy, dirty atmosphere that maybe people thought about in the past. It's clean, it's bright, it's exciting. As Austin said, it's something new every day.
If there's anything that the Chamber Foundation can do for either one of you, I would absolutely love to support the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for what you mean to North Alabama.
Thank you so much for having us.